everyone, welcome to Austin, Texas for round 18 of our 2016 F1 career mode. I am LoveSpuds and it's a sunny day here, 19 degrees, a few clouds, blue skies, it's all good. But the talking point of the season is Jenson Button and LoveSpuds being in that race for the title. The two McLaren teammates have battled from Australia right till America so far. The fight will probably go on. Last time out in Japan, Jenson Button won the race, Daniel Ricciardo was second, and LoveSpuds could only manage a third. He was 18 seconds behind his teammate, and he was not very quick at all compared to him. Tables may be turned in this race though. On the circuit of the Americas, one track that Spuds is actually not too bad at, but unfortunately on this qualifying run, as you will see, this is the best lap. This is first lap out the two he usually does in Q3. The second run in Q3 did not go so as well. He thought it was on for pole position, but unfortunately this was the best one out of the two. He messed up on the second run and bailed out the lap basically. But this is the result. You can see not the tidiest run through the first sector, but as we come down the long back straight from turn 11 down to turn 12, you'll see that they're on the 56 second mark at the moment roughly as we come towards the second sector line. Bit of wheel spin out the back there, not too great, but Spuds is currently 1 second faster, 1.5 seconds faster than Massa, but Button sets his provisional pole of a 1:37.7. Now he sets the benchmark, and Spuds is trying to match that a little bit, but he's had too many mistakes on this first run, and he thought, okay, well, I'll come out and do better on the second run. As you can see, a pretty big corner cut there as well, over the orange sausage curb as well, which would have thrown the balance off a bit as well. But coming out the final corner, let's just see where he ends up. Only 0.03 of a second off Button's pace. Pole was within grasp, but no, Jenson has taken it. And there's Valtteri Bottas down in 9th. Unfortunately for him, he retired. No, he didn't retire. So I'm thinking of another Williams last time out. But anyway, Max Verstappen is actually on pole. I thought Jenson was on pole. I've been proved wrong, but Verstappen has snatched pole from Jenson Button, and it really proves that I should really look at some of these videos before I commentate on them. But never mind. So, Spuds versus Button. The gap is now 14 points in the championship, and Spuds will be looking to get ahead of Button as soon as possible. If he can do it is another matter. Anyway, here's the starting grid. Max Verstappen first, Jenson Button second, Spuds third, Daniel Ricciardo fourth. Two Mercedes line up behind him in 5th and 6th, then the two Ferraris, and then two Williams, 2 by 2. And then you've got Perez and Sainz breaking up the pattern, Hulkenberg, Kvyat, Wehrlein, Haryanto in the two Manners, Magnussen, Ericsson, Grosjean and Nasser, and then completing the grid you have Palmer and Gutierrez. So let's go down to the track now for the start of the US Grand Prix. So here we go, 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and we're off. So a pretty poor start from the McLarens there. Very good start from Max Verstappen, who flies off into the distance. Ricciardo's going to come up the inside of Jenson Button here. Is he going to make a move there? Yep, he's got a good inside line there. Button is pushed aside, actually hits one of the Mercedes there. That's Rosberg come through in front of the two McLarens there. And it's the two Red Bulls, Mercedes, and the two McLarens actually out front now. And the yellow flags are out, the yellow flags are out. There seems to be an instant on the first corner. You can see everyone slowing down there. Looks like the virtual safety car has been deployed, but we will see in a moment what happened there. So everyone's holding base now. Verstappen first, Ricciardo second, Rosberg third, Button fourth, and Spuds currently languishing 5th after his 3rd place position there. So McLaren's really lost out there. So this is what happened. We're on board with Kvyat, going on the run down to the first corner. So all looks good so far, no contact, but as Kvyat comes around the first bend here, he actually bashes into Perez in the Force India there, and actually comes back out and hits the Haas. Hits one of the Haas's, and this is what happened with Spuds. Just as the safety car was called, he had to take avoiding action there. Locking up both front tyres, that will not be good for the life of those two front tyres there, unfortunately. But it's a virtual safety car, so it didn't last long. So we're coming to the end of the final lap, coming round pretty much in formation. Spuds did not get a great getaway on that restart, but he is holding on to that 5th place. Got Vettel in him. Wow, that's not the kind of video we're after here. But Vettel is right behind, and he will be capitalising on Spuds if he makes a mistake. But he seems to have consolidated his 5th position there. He's going to come up the inside of Button here. He's going to make a move. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Button's pushed out wide and even is under risk of being overtaken by Vettel there. Let's just see. I think Button has stayed ahead, but as Spuds now up to 4th, and he can chase after Rosberg now. So this is lap 3. Coming up on the back of Rosberg, on board with Mr. Spuds, and he'll be looking to chase after those Red Bulls as soon as he can dispatch the Mercedes of Nico Rosberg. There we go, on board, really close as comes through the turns 5, 6, and then around 6 to 7 here. You see, it's really close, so should be able to make a move, either on the run down turn 11 or down the big back straight. The McLaren is the faster of the two cars here on show. Oh no, there you go. He's going to come the inside on turn 11. He's going to do it. Yes, he is. Up the inside, and it's now a matter of a drag race down to turn 12. And Spuds also gets the DRS as well, so not bad at all. Should create a nice little gap from Rosberg, providing everything goes well and Spuds does not make a mistake, which he has been prone to in the last few Grand Prix. You can see he's locking up a bit there, but that's not too much of a problem. He does have good pace around this circuit, which is the main thing. Much better pace than he did have in Japan last time out. 18 seconds was the gap at the finish line between Jensen and Love at the last Grand Prix. He will be hoping that the gap will not be the same today. Hopefully Spuds will pick up the pace and end up in front of Button, but you never know. You never know. There's still a few Grand Prix to go yet, so the title is nowhere near decided. And Spuds just drags straight past the Red Bull there of Daniel Ricciardo. I'm assuming that definitely was Ricciardo. Looking at the helmets, I can't really tell that from here. We'll have to go on board with Spuds in a bit to just see who that definitely was, but I think that was Ricciardo. Oh, no it wasn't. Completely wrong. You know, if I say something, just assume the opposite. Okay, that's usually how things go there. As Spuds is going to pit this lap, I think. No, he's not actually. His indicator in the red there means that Jensen Button has come into the pits, and he will be fitting his next set of tyres this afternoon. So Jensen's going to try and undercut Spuds if he can. Spuds needs to put the hammer down and try and catch up to Ricciardo for a start, who has seemed to have created a nice little gap for himself, but unfortunately it does seem that Rosberg is coming back on Spuds. Maybe Spuds has just taken those tyres a little bit too far to the edge and has not quite got the grip he needs. But Verstappen has dropped back after starting on pole, which is unfortunate for him, and here comes Rosberg down into the run, down into turn 12. Spuds tries to cut back, but no such luck there. Nowhere near. So Rosberg's got quite a good speed on that little section of track there compared to Spuds. So Rosberg is now up to 2nd place. Spuds is down to 3rd. That's not too much of a problem. Spuds is actually coming in this lap. As you can see down at the bottom right there, the green pit indicator. That means he is due to pit this lap. Whether he does or not is a different matter, but it does look like he's going to come in as the McLaren guys are out in the pit lane. You can see the McLaren just squirming around there on the exit of that turn 19. And Spuds comes in nicely to the pit limit turn. And Verstappen's coming in behind as well. Verstappen will be hoping that his pit crew can get him out in front of Spuds, but we shall see. It's the battle of the crews. And Spuds goes for another set of the super soft tyres this afternoon. Verstappen has gone for the mediums, but he has not come out in front of Spuds. So Verstappen's going to go longer on this next stint, and he'll be hoping to overtake Spuds on the pit stops. But there goes Button. Button has come through just ahead of Spuds there, even though Jensen had that traffic in front of him. Jensen has also gone for the super soft tyre for this stint, so similar strategies from the two McLarens here as we're on board with Spuds. And Spuds will be hoping that that traffic will hold up Jensen just enough for him to leapfrog Jensen. He can't afford to let Jensen get too far ahead, especially as the championship is Spuds to lose at the moment. But 14 points is the gap, and that's not insurmountable. A bad result from Spuds could mean that Jensen takes the lead of the championship at any point through these next few races. So Jensen and Spuds have both got DRS, but Spuds has got the massive overspeed there as they come into 12, and Spuds takes position. Unfortunately, Jensen is actually struggling to get past that Sauber there. For some reason, it's not happening for him, but there we go. He's finally made the move. You can just see in the background there, he's got past the blue Sauber there. I'm not quite sure which one it is. I can't see his helmet. But either way, Spuds is under a little bit of pressure from the two McLarens there. It's just going back a little bit there. There we go, just going back slightly to see a nice aerial shot. That was actually bad editing, but never mind. Never mind, you can see where Jensen got past the Sauber, but I just love these aerial shots. They are really good. You can just see the Haas chasing after the Manor there, as the two McLarens are chasing right behind here. As you come into the final corner, you can see how much stopping power those two McLarens have to catch up that much in the final corner. And Spuds makes the move up the main straight here. He should have DRS running up to turn 1. There we go, DRS flap open. Spuds and Jensen both have the DRS. Spuds moves up the inside of the Haas and also the Manor, going up around the outside of turn 2. He should have made that stick. Yes, he has. He's in front of the Manor. So he's now got a Manor and a Haas between him and Jensen, which is what he would love to see in his rearview mirror. Now Spuds has now got dispatched the other Sauber. But unfortunately, this traffic is not helping the two McLarens. The two McLarens will be wanting to win the race today. But this traffic is going to be holding them up, and Red Bull will surely capitalise on the pit strategy here at the moment as Spuds goes past and dispatches the other Sauber, which I believe that was Ericsson, and then it takes the other Marussia. Marussia is a Manor this season. There's so many name changes, I've just lost track of that team. Unfortunately, they are no more after this season. So here comes the two Williamses. Williamses, is that the right way to say it? Probably not. So, and that is Bottas blowing up there. His engine has gone. There we are. Bottas is out of the race. He's not had the best of weekends, qualifying at 9th, and then the engine blowing up in him, so that's unfortunate. Williams have fallen a little bit by the wayside recently, unfortunately for them. Be good to see him competing again. But that's not going to happen this season. Unless they have a miraculous upgrade, of course. But then again, they are nowhere near challenging for 2nd or 3rd in the Constructors' Championship. So Spuds has suffered some sort of front wing damage. I don't know where that was from. But he has lost a part of his front wing on the right-hand side. So that safety car that was called out for Bottas. The race is now going to restart. Ricciardo will bomb it down the straight. Here we go. So on the restart, we're just on board with Ricciardo here. Nothing much going on behind, it seems, if we're on this camera angle. But let's just see what happens into turn 1. And no one's in front of Ricciardo there, so Ricciardo maintains the lead after the restart. And some strange camera angles there as we look at the rest of the field behind. So just on board with Rosberg as he chases after one of the Toro Rossos, which I assume is Sainz, because Danny Kvyat had that little spin on the first corner of the race. You can see Spuds right up behind Rosberg, and this safety car has actually helped the two McLarens catch up to the rest of the pack here. But unfortunately Jensen is still behind those Manners and the Sauber and the Haas there behind Spuds. And Spuds will be hoping to get past as soon as possible. It looks like Spuds may be trying to get all three of both of them, the Toro Rosso and the Mercedes, so unfortunately didn't quite work out for Rosberg as Spuds comes up the inside, and actually Rosberg is pushed out a little bit as they come out of the second sector into the third one, into the final section of the racetrack. Rosberg also on the super softs as well, so he should have similar pace, but the car is not quite as fast as the McLarens. But unfortunately Spuds goes wide there, goes wide on the 17 and 18, and is he going to come to the inside? Ooh, it's a very late move on turn 19 there, but he's got his car almost side by side. Can he make a move into the last corner? No, he can't. It's not going to happen. But Rosberg goes wide, very wide. Let's just go on board here, and he's actually getting swamped by the Toro Rosso and a Manor. So he did not get a very good run out of the last corner at all. There was no contact, he just went really wide, and now he's boxed in and in all sorts of trouble. And oh no, that's not good at all. Rosberg had a terrible lap there, and he has to get out that little gravel trap there. So we're on board with Spuds just now. Got yellow flags up, but Spuds is wondering what is going on here, because the yellow flag is just constantly going on for the next couple of corners, and surely there's no accident up ahead. But then he realises that Ricciardo has got a problem. Looks like possibly a flat tyre or some sort of engine problem, and it just goes straight past him. Probably not the best place to overtake him, but there we go. And this is what happened to the Haas not so long ago. This is Grosjean, and oh, he gets hit and hit again on the restart there. Up to the first corner, he got into all sorts of bother. Let's just see what happens. We're on board with Jenson Button, who has taken the Haas out. Surely he should get some sort of penalty for that, and that's just Rosberg up ahead as well, just before he got spun out. So two little incidents in the first corner there. Also Nico Hulkenberg's out of the race from another engine issue. Not a great day for the Mercedes engines. So that's Grosjean out. Rosberg's Mercedes is still in the race, but he has dropped quite a few positions now, unfortunately, so he's not going to challenge for the win anymore. That leaves the open door for the two McLarens. You've got Spuds coming into the pits now, to his second or third set of tyres this afternoon. His second change, his third set of tyres. Let's see what he's going to go for. He has to change to a different compound, but what's it going to be? Is it going to be a soft or a medium? It's going to be a soft. There we go. And also a front wing change as well. Didn't necessarily need one, but he's decided that he is going to have one nonetheless, and he comes out behind the Williams and the Ferrari. I think that may be Vettel. Not quite sure, but that is Massa and the Williams just ahead, and surely Jensen is in front as well now. There he goes. Not that far in front though, actually, thinking about it, because Jensen had only just gone past. So Jensen's up ahead with the Ferrari behind him, and then Massa in 6th. Spuds is currently in 7th, so there's still plenty of time to make a move. There are well over 10 laps to go, so just coming through past the halfway stage of the race, and Spuds will be looking to take these soft tyres right to the end of the race, and Sainz behind is on the medium tyre. Bit of a lock up there on the front left there from Spuds, but never mind, we get through. And they're just going to go for a different camera angle. You can see in the mirror there, Spuds deploying the DRS, and you see the closing speed is just immense from that McLaren, even with DRS. So Massa locks up his front right tyre, trying to stay ahead He is still side by side with the McLaren, but can he do it? No, he cannot hold on, and Spuds takes that 6th position from Massa. The Ferrari's next. Looks like Spuds is making up some good ground. Looks like he's on a comfortable tyre, and he's getting into a rhythm. So that was Button going past. That's the Ferrari of Raikkonen. It's Raikkonen. What happened to Vettel? He must have dropped back a little bit, but Raikkonen's doing quite well. He's up into 3rd, but maybe not for much longer, as Spuds is hunting Kimi down. He's got DRS, and with the long straight here, it should be a pretty easy move as we come down to turn 12. Here we are. DRS open, up the inside. Should be pretty easy, side by side as we go to the apex, and Spuds has made it count. Spuds is making up some ground on Jensen as well. Jensen not quite as fast as Spuds this afternoon, but that would be explained by him being on the medium tyre. So we could end up with quite a fight towards the end of the race, actually, thinking about it. If Button's on a tyre that's going to last longer and Spuds is on a tyre that's not going to last much longer, that could mean, with Spuds' pace and Jensen's consistent driving style, could mean they'd end up at the same sort of speed at the end of the race. But we're just on board with Spuds now. You can see on the front wing there a nicely repaired new front wing. You can see Spuds just chasing down Jensen, and again for the umpteenth time this season we're going to get a battle between the two McLarens. The battle of the Brits has come again. You see Spuds has got so much more speed on those softer tyres, and he needs to make it count. He needs to get in front of Jensen as soon as possible, and he needs to stay there. You see locking up the front left again, down onto that run into turn 11. Spuds will get DRS here. It seems, is he going to get it? No, he didn't actually get DRS. He wasn't within a second. But he's got that slipstream and has made that gap up to Jensen here. And Jensen will be feeling the pressure. He just needs to keep the car on the road. If he can finish in front of Spuds, he will close that gap even more in the championship. And next race out in Mexico is not one of Spuds' strongest tracks at all. Neither is Abu Dhabi, the last race of the season. So it's still all to play for, and Jensen, all he needs to do is keep up this run of results and be consistent, and he could be this season's world champion. But who knows? The gap of 14 points, it's all still to play for. This may very well come down to the wire, and I expect it to. Especially the way Jensen is driving at the moment, challenging for the win. Is Spuds going to make a move? No, he's not quite there at the moment. Trying to get a good run on him down into turn 2. So here we go. The Battle of the Brits on the final 4 laps of the US Grand Prix here in Austin. And you can see how close. Spuds just sitting back, not rushing. He's not going to make any silly moves anytime soon. He's just going to pick his moment. And Jensen needs to counter at whatever Spuds does. You can see on the run down, this is turn 11, going back down the main straight. This is where Spuds will most likely make his pass. Here we go, we're going to have DRS. Yes, it's open. It's open. This is surely an open and shut case as Spuds flies up the inside. He even gets the move done before they get to turn 12. There we go, but it's not quite over yet. Jensen will come back at him. He will have DRS, slipstreams and all sorts, but Jensen's trying to go up the inside there, but it's not going to happen. Spuds just keeping him at an arm's length, and almost literally an arm's length behind in second there. And all this fighting between the two McLarens could mean a Red Bull or even a Ferrari will appear shortly in the background there. There we go. It's just the two McLarens at the moment. The Ferrari is in third. That's Raikkonen down in third position. Let's just go on board with Spuds as we fly up the main straight up into turn 1. And Spuds just needs to keep his nose in front. And he's off on the marbles actually, so he's gone wide. And there goes Jensen. swiping his backside in front of the nose of Love Spuds there. There we go. So this is going to be a bit of a battle, as we suspected. And soon McLaren's, and there's the Red Bull. Red Bull has gotten past the Ferrari. That must be Ricciardo. Ricciardo is performing extremely well in this last half of the season. He's actually done quite well all season, really. He's looking for, let's just check, he's already won 2 races. Yep, 2 races this season, and that's towards the start of the season and quite recently. And looks like it's going to be the only other winner apart from Hamilton this season, as Spuds goes up the inside again with DRS, but he's actually not even that close to him. He was just side by side as they went round the apex there. Button is hanging on. Spuds maybe braked a little too early there, but maybe he's just conserving the tyres for another run on Jensen. But you can see the Red Bull up behind. He is closing the gap. These two fighting McLarens could come a cropper if they make contact. And as we know, that has happened in the past. Especially the most famous one this season being Azerbaijan, and with Jensen taking Spuds for a spin. Let's see, up the run up to turn 1 again. Spuds on DRS goes up the inside. And can you make that stick? He's got on the outside of 2. But he is well ahead of Jensen there. There we are, back on board with Spuds. It would have been better to go on board with Jensen there so we can see how far away he is. But you can just about see him in the mirror. And Spuds will know he is just filling up his mirrors as well. He knows he has not got the time to make mistakes, but I think Spuds is struggling a little bit on his soft tyres. They are starting to wear off, and Jensen comes up the inside of 11, does him like a kipper. You see there's Ricciardo behind as well. Can Ricciardo overtake both McLarens and upset the apple cart? What's he going to do? Let's have a look down. Let's see. So Jensen had the DRS, so Spuds was trying to catch up there, but Spuds did have the speed in the slipstream there. He's got very good straight line speed this afternoon, and Jensen smashes into the side of Spuds, so showing he is not to be messed with. There you go, Spuds goes up the inside, locks up the front left, but takes it on turn 16 as we go round to 17 and 18. Yeah, it's a hard fought battle there. Ricciardo just behind. He will pick up the pieces. Remember, if these two come together, he will pick up the pieces, but it's all about Jensen and Love Spuds. Who will win today's race? It's almost reminiscent of Malaysia, last lap, where Spuds came out of nowhere and it took the win away, but Spuds has gone wide on turn 1. That is not good. You can see actually they're all 3 of them are on different compounds. So you got Ricciardo on the super softs, Spuds on the softs, and Jensen on the mediums. So which car is going to win today, and which tyre compound is going to win today? Which strategy will turn out to be the best? But looking at all 3 cars, they're all together, so it didn't really matter too much which strategy they were on. But if Spuds had maybe done a few things differently, maybe he would have went up the road in front. If he hadn't have changed his nose cone, he would have been up front as well. But Spuds is coming back on the main straight here. Not the main straight, the back straight. And we've got DRS and makes the move pretty easily after what has been a titanic battle over the last few laps. And it looks like Spuds is going to come through to win. If he can just hold on to this last sector, he's going to cover the inside line. He's not going to let Jensen go through any open door here. Does go a bit wide there, but he has got a nice line around 17 and 18. Just 2 corners to go. Coming up to the penultimate corner here. It's Spuds, Jensen. Jensen gets a good run. Coming up to the final corner now. Spuds comes round the corner and he's going to win the American Grand Prix, the United States Grand Prix. Spuds wins
and extends that gap ever so slightly from Jensen, who you could just see was on the left there as you come across the line. And again, for another occasion this season, some of the closest finishes you will ever see in Formula 1. It's like there's got to be like 3 or 4 times now that the top 2 or 3 have come across the line within a second of each other there. So very, very good result for Love Spuds there. He needed that. He needs to finish ahead of Jensen as much as possible, because next time out in Mexico and Abu Dhabi, 2 of his weakest tracks, he needs these points now. He needs them now, and he might be able to take the championship within the next 2 races. He might be able to do it before he gets to Abu Dhabi. That's his goal. If he can do that, he will be over the moon. But there you go. This is on screen. You'll see the final standings there. Browse at your leisure. A few DNFs today, quite a few. And you can see in the championship, Love Spuds is 21 points ahead of Jensen. He just needs to maintain that gap, and if he can gain another 3 or 4 points, or 4 or 5 points on Jensen there, by the time Brazil's over, then he has done it. But it's still a 2-horse race. It's anyone's game, and it's nowhere near over yet. So we've got Mexico, we've got Brazil, we've got Abu Dhabi left. 3 rounds left of this championship, and who knows which McLaren it's going to be. And you can see McLaren on top still. They're already champions, so it's just a matter of settling who's going to be in second place. But I think it's going to be Red Bull. I think that's how it's going to stand. Red Bull, Mercedes, then Ferrari. So there you go, on the podium there, Love Spuds wins in Austin, Jensen second, and Max Verstappen, who started on pole with a fantastic lap, ends up in the 3rd position there. So we'll see you next time out in Mexico. Have a good week, guys, and I'll see you there.